The first all-private astronaut crew to fly aboard the International Space Station is due to splash down in a matter of minutes. The four-person team undocked from the orbiting lab last night on a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule. Now, what was supposed to be a 10-day mission was extended several days because of bad weather at the splashdown site. The capsule is set to parachute into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Florida. So let's bring in space analyst Bill Harwood now for more. Hi, Bill. Great to see you and talk space with you again. Always one of my favorite things to do on this show. No matter how many times we watch these landings, there is still a level of excitement. What can we expect to see unfold over the next few minutes?
Well, hopefully just what we've seen unfold 5 times before. This is the 6th time crew members have flown on a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule. It's designed to splash down in the water. In this case, they'll be coming down in the Atlantic Ocean east of Jacksonville in that general area. They're going to fire off 4 big parachutes. That's what's going to slow them down from about 350 miles an hour down to about 15 miles per hour. And from that point, they'll simply descend to the surface. They'll splash down. SpaceX has recovery crews stationed nearby. They're expected to be on the scene within minutes. They'll haul the capsule up on a recovery ship, help the returning crew members out, do some initial medical checks, and bring this mission to a close. As you said, always a little bit exciting when you think about going from 17,000 miles per hour to a few miles per hour to splash down safely in the ocean.
And what was the goal of this space exploration from a research perspective? What sort of research will these non-professional astronauts be bringing back with them?
Well, they did a lot of sponsored research from well-respected institutions like the Mayo Clinic, for example. Quite a bit of biomedical research was carried out, things like how the body adapts to weightlessness, changes that occur in microgravity and then change back once you get back to the gravity field. They also did a number of technology demonstrations, quite a bit of public outreach. And really, I think the thing that really sets this mission apart, we're used to space tourists going up to the station with cosmonauts, for example, on sponsored missions, and they're mostly sightseers in that case. But in this case, they really did do quite a bit of legitimate research, and of course, that's what NASA wants to encourage.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, because as you point out, they are not professional astronauts. They paid to be on this trip, and they also performed more than 100 hours of work. It's a pretty good deal for SpaceX, right? I mean, you get people paying, millions of dollars to get on one of your rockets, and you're going to do work for them. Tell us a little bit more about the kind of work they were doing.
Well, the work was really for Axiom Space. That's the company that actually paid for the mission. 3 of the crew members, you're right, paid an enormous amount of money for these seats in the ballpark of $55–60 million apiece. And by the way, we're looking at an infrared view of the capsule coming down. Always interesting to see. It's well within sight of the recovery forces.
Oh, there we go. That's the image you were talking about.
But Axiom Space, Houston-based Axiom Space is the company that's paying for all this. They want to build a commercial space station, something that would then be operational when the International Space Station is retired at the end of the decade. So they view this as the first step in that direction. The research they're carrying out is to demonstrate the level of research commercial users can have once they're on an operational commercial space station. And I think they got off to a very good start. This was, by all accounts, a very successful mission in the sense that a lot of research to carry out. They did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill, we're going to check back in with you in a second, but it's getting exciting, so let's listen in and stand by. Thanks so much, Bill.
You can expect automated parachute deploy at standard altitude.
Copy that, sir.
All right, so just a heads up there to the crew that they can expect to feel those initial drogue parachutes deploy.
Right.
As I was saying before, the crew's comfortable. While the exterior of the capsule is warming up, we are purging the internal cabin and their suits with nitrox or nitrogen-oxygen mixture to keep them comfortable and cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, as we're waiting for confirmation that Dragon chutes have deployed, just prior to the deployment of the initial drogue chutes, Dragon will automatically safe the propulsion system. Dragon then deploys its drogue parachutes to stabilize and decelerate the vehicle, like you mentioned earlier, Kate.
Now, just before the deployment of those drogue parachutes, seats automatically rotate 26 degrees to keep the crew within acceptable or G limits for entry and landing. Without the drogue chutes, we would have to make the mains 3 times stronger and heavier. And of course, everything about spaceflight is about weight.
Right.
So if Dragon SpaceX, brace for drogue window.
Bracing.
All right, so just a couple moments here until those drogue parachutes are released. Shortly after the drogues are released, we'll see the release of the main parachutes, which help to further decelerate the vehicle and allow the vehicle to proceed safely to the splashdown zone in the Atlantic Ocean. The vehicle's velocity at drogue deployment is about 350 miles per hour. And they deploy at about 18,000 feet.
From that deploy, it's a pretty quick succession of events, right? We deploy the drogues very quickly after. There we go. We're seeing the drogues deploy now.
Live view from onboard Dragon Endeavour of those drogue parachutes. Capsule's going about 350 miles per hour.
Nominal ascent rate for 2 healthy drogues.
Copy, sir.
It's what you love to hear from inside the capsule.
Exactly.
Because unfortunately, they can't see the parachutes, so to hear that call out that their drogues are healthy, it's great news. So there's a better shot of those drogue parachutes from our tracking camera.
You know, and having that single voice of the core, talking to crew, letting crew know that they're going into a planned LOS, and then coming back. All right, there's the 4 mains deploying.
All right, so
we have visual on 4 mains.
So there we heard that confirmation of 4 mains deploying.
And descent rate nominal.
Gorgeous shot of those 4 main parachutes.
1,000 meters.
Copy, 1,000 meters.
So just the crew reporting that they're only 1,000 meters from splashdown.
Right.
Landing in water is simpler, therefore more reliable, and it provides more margin against unlikely parachute issues. You know, we had to learn how to make Dragon waterproof, but once you do, that's it. It's a rinse, review, reuse type process.
Right. 800 meters.
Copy, 800.
Once again, our Axiom 1 crew is targeting a splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean at our Jacksonville recovery zone. The recovery teams are in the area waiting for that splashdown confirmation.
Scheduled for about 2 minutes from now, according to our clocks.
600 meters.
Copy, 600.
So we can see that capsule there, as I mentioned before, you know, when we saw it on station and of course during launch, it was pure white.
Right.
It is no longer.
Right.
We now have really a beautiful shot of that toasted marshmallow. You know, that thermal protection, those thermal protection systems, you know, keep the crew safe.
Copy, 400.
And like you said, you know, that's a testament to the design of the vehicle doing exactly what it was designed to do and what it has to do it safely. And like you said, rinse, reuse, right? It's all part of reusable spaceflight.
First live view of our crew there from inside the Dragon capsule now that they have re-entered the Earth's atmosphere.
200 meters, bracing for impact.
Copy, bracing.
I think I see that 0G indicator in the lap of Mission Specialist Mark Pathy there.
That's right. The crew is looking comfortable in their view that we saw there, ready to splash down just a few moments from now. And right now, I think those parachutes slowed the vehicle down to about, is that
about 15 miles per hour? Yep. As you can tell by the cheers behind us, we can confirm that the Dragon capsule with the AX-1 crew has splashed down. Dragon Endeavour has returned home with the Axiom 1 crew.
And there you have it. You heard the cheering. That means everything looks like it went to plan. The splashdown there looks successful. Bill, is that correct? Did everything go to plan?
As far as we know, it did. You know, SpaceX being a private company, it's not NASA. They don't have to release real-time information, so it'll take a little while to get the technical details, but it looked picture perfect. Nice clear skies, smooth impact, resting upright right now, and obviously within sight of recovery crews. All of that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the video live right there. So, you know, Bill, pulling back from this moment and discussing sort of what this means, the bigger picture of what this means for the future of private missions in space. Number one, you know, where are we going with this? And number two, what is the ultimate goal when it comes to private space exploration?
You know, it's interesting. You know, NASA is going to retire the International Space Station around the end of the decade. In other words, it will be driven into the atmosphere to burn up over the Pacific Ocean. Its life will come to an end. It can't operate forever, right? NASA wants to make sure that there are still space stations in low Earth orbit where people can do research, including NASA, as well as private industry, while the agency focuses on a return to the moon and eventual flights to Mars. That's the mantra, back to the moon and on to Mars. What they want private industry to do is learn how to operate in space. They're making the International Space Station available to flights like this one, to give private companies experience and to demonstrate the utility of it. And the hope is that when the station is retired at the end of the decade, that private industry will step in and have some commercial options in low Earth orbit that NASA astronauts as well as private researchers can use to do experiments and all of that. Same sorts of things they already do on the space station, but in the private sector. That's the plan. Right. That's what this mission is hopefully leading toward from NASA's perspective.
And of course, since NASA is hoping that private industry takes over a lot of this, profits are therefore necessary. It's not run the same way a government organization is run. So is the idea that Axios or SpaceX or whoever sort of takes on this mantle will get those funds or get that revenue by charging, you know, private citizens to ride these capsules? I mean, these $50 million price tags, are those going to remain for the near future?
Well, of course, they're obviously hoping that as time goes on, costs will come down. But we're really not talking about so much, I think, private individuals here, as you might think of it in terms of university researchers, countries that don't have a space program that would like to send people up to space to do research. I mean, there's a whole population out there that doesn't have a way to get to space that would be financed by either governments, private businesses, as well as rich individuals who might just want to take a ride in space. It's all of that that presumably will help pay for this.
So it's a combination of all of the above, a sort of group effort, as it were. All right, well, certainly very exciting. Bill Harwood, thank you so much for your insight into all of this. We always appreciate having you with us.